Howdy folks, today we're going to talk about a Uberti copy of the model 1873 Cattleman. This is in 45 Colt caliber, and here we have the gun. It's a nice little firearm. I like this thing a lot, man. It's a beautiful gun. We have, make sure we open our gate. All right, we want to show you that the gun half cocked so we can rotate the cylinder. All right, the gun is empty. Make sure we check all the cylinders here, and we're good to go there. Okay. And this is a case-colored frame. You see the multiple coloring here with kind of blues and purples and grays all into steel, with a blued barrel, a blued cylinder, and brass trigger guard and lower part of the frame with a nice walnut grip on it. Really cool. That's just daggone pretty gun to mess all there is to it. Anyway, what we got here is come to us from Uberti, made in Italy. And to clean the gun after we've shot it, we would typically pull our latch right here. We have a pin actually take down. Let's say what do you call it? It's a locking pin across the little pin right here that pulls out, and you can open the cylinder up. Here, we're going to take that out. We can take our cylinder out, be able to access it, clean it really good. Here we go. We can run our solvent through the cylinder. Let it set for a couple minutes while we run the solvent through the barrel. And any, especially around, you gotta watch for the revolver, especially with the carbon buildup around the face of the barrel, the chamber right here, so that the forcing cone. So you make sure you get all the carbon off of that. Get this cleaned up. We'll wipe it off with some, follow up with a dry patch, and then come back with a little bit of lubricant to make sure we keep it lubed up there good. So we minimize the carbon buildup. We'll put our cylinder back in and get our guide rod back in place. And sometimes it can be a little bit aggravating, honestly. Almost any of the single actions are like this, when you have to get your pin exactly in line. And now we have it in line and back locked into place. All right. Now we've got it ready to go fire. I'm gonna look at the operation of it. Single action tells us that the trigger performs one function. All right. That means that you have to manually cock the hammer, and when you squeeze the hammer, squeeze the trigger rather, you squeeze the trigger, the hammer drops. That's one function that performs by the trigger. If it was a double action, you'll be able to squeeze the trigger, and the trigger would cock the hammer and also fire it. Right? But in this case, it's a single action. So every time you fire the gun, you have to manually cock the hammer. And also to be able to rotate the cylinder when you're cleaning it or loading it or unloading it, as far as that goes. We're going to open our loading gate here. We're going to cock our hammer halfway back, which frees up the locking bolt in the bottom of the frame, allows the cylinder to rotate. Now we can rotate it one hole at a time and be able to load our cartridges, also to be able to eject it one at a time. And we're going to eject it from our ejection rod, which is attached to the barrel. And every time we're going to unload the gun, without pulling the cylinder out of it, we'll rotate it one at a time and push our ejection rod through the cylinder to unload it. And with that being said, half cocked, that's where the term originated from in the cowboy days. Don't go off half cocked. We're talking about the single action revolvers. So if you got the gun half cocked, it don't work. The cylinder just spins. You can't fire it that way. So there you go. Made a little bit of history that you may not have heard about before. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to let's go ahead and load this thing up. And here we have some. This is Winchester Super X 230 grain, 45 Colt ammo that we're going to put in it. We'll give this thing a whirl on the range and see what it feels like. You know what? Let me back up here a second. I have not. I'll tell you, we'll do it after some already get later. We'll do it after we shoot it. We'll come back over here and do a trigger pull test, because this is a new gun. I've not done anything with it other than what you've seen right here. We'll take it out of the box and we're going to give it a whirl and see what it feels like. All right. So now, put my ears on and a little ear protection here. We'll give her a few shots and come back and do a trigger pull test. The frame on this gun is a little bit short, for my hand especially, but no, with any 45 Colt, you're going to have to hold on to the gun because it's going to be a fairly substantial recoil here. All right, there we go. There's all 6 of them. And that being the case, alrighty, and let's eject our shells out and see how that works. All right, now we have 6 empty holes. Okay, now let's go back over to the table and do a little testing with our trigger pull gauge here. We can cock the thing and get our trusty RCBS gauge in hand. Let's see what we have. Man, that's sweet. 3.5 pounds. Okay, and we're gonna do it one more time just so you can see it's being consistent here. And it felt really good shooting it. It was not difficult at all to release the hammer. Well, get my trigger gauge hook up right. That's about 3 3/4 to 4 pounds. So that's good. And that can always be improved on if you want to use this gun for more for a really slick target kind of pistol. You could definitely do that. You can do a little polishing on the internal parts and make it a little slicker. But I tell you, it's pretty well tuned right from the factory. Being 3.5, 3 3/4 pound trigger pull. So anyway, that's it for our Uberti 1873 Cattleman in 45 Colt. Good gun, I like this thing. Beautiful too, matter of fact. Thanks for watching, and if we can help you out with something at Maverick Gun Works, give us a call.